Okay, we are now on the record for Tuesday afternoon's criminal docket, November 30th, 2021. I'm going to start with quick announcements. Please use your raise your hand reaction button and I will call you in the order that you are in my screen. Mr. Arredondo?
Yeah, good afternoon, Judge. I have a few quick announcements. First one is number 6 on your docket, Jorge Luis Garcia. He's in custody, Judge.
Okay, CR 21-09258-I. Deputy, if you can please bring, is he here or is he still in Jim Hog?
We have him here, Judge.
You have him? Okay.
He's out here in county.
Okay, go ahead and bring him to the screen. All right. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
The state is willing to dismiss the misdemeanor, Judge. I believe my client is going to plead to the felonies on December the 15th.
Okay, and what says the state?
Your Honor, that is correct. That was our offer to defense counsel. We're going to be awaiting that felony sentence, excuse me.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just set this for December the 16th at 1:30 to make sure that that went through. And if it's going to be dismissed administratively, just let us know and we'll take it off the docket.
Sounds good, Judge.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Madam President.
Okay, your next case?
Then I also have number 28, 29, and 30 on your docket, Fernando de los Rios, and he's in custody.
CR 21-02822-I, CR 21-02823-I, and CR 20-07477-I. Mr. Fernando de los Rios, if he can come up to the screen. All right. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, I have received the plea paperwork, Judge. I just need time to sign them up. If we can just reset this for a plea next week.
Okay. On the 14th?
We'll be
No,
ready
I'm
by
sorry,
then.
on the 7th?
That works.
Okay, that'll be on December the 7th at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge. And then I have 2 pleas, so I'll be on standby for that.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Rigney?
Good afternoon, Judge. Judge, I have Jose Lino, but it's set for plea deal, but the state is still reviewing the plea offer, Judge, so we can have a reset.
Okay, and what number is that on the court's docket?
Oh, I apologize, Judge. When I open it on my phone, it doesn't show numbers.
Your Honor, it's number 36.
Okay, CR 18-07314-I, and State of Texas versus Jose Lino. Is Mr. Lino present?
No, Judge, since we don't have a plea deal, he's at work, and I told him that I would advise him if he needed to log on. He wasn't,
Okay.
he did call me just a few minutes ago.
And how much time are you requesting?
And whatever the court has, I guess, maybe either 30 days or a few weeks, something to see if the state will finalize their offer, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Lozano?
Yes, Your Honor. Plea paperwork was sent out on November 22nd. Defense was in communication with the state. They were asking for deferred, but deferred's not an option because the arrest happened before September 1st, 2019, and they're not eligible per statute.
So I just spoke with them yesterday, Judge, and they were going to re-evaluate the possibility of doing the PTD program. So I'm waiting for them to answer that.
All right,
Sorry, Judge, go ahead.
January the 11th at 9:30. I'm gonna set it for a status.
Yes, Judge.
Okay,
That's all, Judge. Thank you. Have a good day.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Tijerina, Juan Tijerina.
Good afternoon, Judge. Judge, I have a status this afternoon. It is on number 48 on the court's docket.
Okay, CR 21-02817-I, State of Texas versus Michaela Lara. And is Miss Lara present?
Yes, Judge, I am.
Okay, and what is the announcement?
Judge, on this matter, we're just here on a status, Judge. The last appearance my client made was in person. She was admonished by this honorable court, so we are just here on a follow-up.
Okay, Ms. Soto, do you have a report on Ms. Lara?
Yes, Judge, she has her mobility device with Smart Start, and from her last hearing to now, Judge, she has no violations. And she was also ordered to attend AA meetings. I did send her the information, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Lara, did you start your AA meetings?
Judge, I did go to 3 different locations, the nearest to my cities. I went to Donna, Weslaco, and Mercedes, and all 3 locations, 2 of them were churches. One of them was a Boys and Girls Club. But when I went, they were closed. So I did call like a hotline, an AA hotline, to find meetings. And nothing popped up. And on the sheet that Ms. Soto did send me, there was like no numbers for me to call prior to make sure that the meetings were going on. So I'm still trying to look for somewhere that is having the meetings. And I know you did suggest to seek counseling. I have reached out to 2 different therapists that I have seen in the past. But I just haven't heard back from them. I sent in all the information they needed, and I've texted them, emailed, and I still haven't heard anything from them.
Okay. I don't know, Ms. Soto, do you know has anyone from the AA meetings ever reached out to you, or do you know, I mean, I don't anticipate that or expect that you would know more information than that.
Now, Judge, what I can do, I'll give Ms. Lara a phone call after court, Judge, and I'll try to figure something out.
Okay, and what is your phone number, Ms. Lara?
Area code 832-710-7448.
Okay, Ms. Soto will reach out to you as soon as we're off the docket.
Okay.
All right, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and have you come back. Mr. Theodina, do you know what you want to do with the case?
Judge, I believe she's PTD eligible, Your Honor. That was the direction we wanted to take on this matter.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, do you show whether or not she's PTD eligible?
Your Honor, she is PTD eligible. There is no application with us at this time.
Okay, so go ahead, Mr. Theodina, if you're going to pursue that, go ahead and start the application process with her so you can have it submitted before January the 13th.
Yes, Your Honor.
At 9:30 a.m. I'll have her come back and let's see how she's doing.
Thank you very much, Judge. I have nothing further. May I be excused?
Yes, you both may be excused.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Mr. Solis?
Good afternoon, Judge. I'm here, number 7 and 8, Mr. Hernandez.
Give me a moment. Okay. 7 and 8. All right, that's CR 17-10245-I, CR 20-00042-I, State of Texas versus Javier Hernandez. Deputy, if you can bring Mr. Hernandez forward.
Yes, Your Honor. He's on the Zoom.
Thank you.
But he has 9 and 10 as well.
As well, okay, and 9 CR 21-01172-I and CR 21-02033. -I and CR 21-02034-I. So Mr. Solis, I don't have your firm listed on those last 3 cases. Were you all retained or appointed?
We're retained, Judge, alongside his pending felony, Judge.
Okay. So if you all are going to take on those other 3 cases so that you can please file your notices of appearance.
Will do, Judge.
Did you need the case numbers on those?
No, Judge, I have them. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, in this case, we're asking for the longest possible reset, Judge. He does have a pending felony that we're just awaiting a trial setting on that. He has a trial setting in late 2022, Judge. We're just hoping to try this case before then.
Okay. March 22nd? And we'll leave it at 1:30.
Thank you.
Okay.
I also have another matter for the court, Judge, number 25.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, that's all. We'll see you. Thank you.
Your Honor,
CR
Jose Luis, Your Honor.
No, Javier Hernandez.
Okay, wrong client, Judge. I'll wait my turn.
Thank you, Mr. Ortega.
All right, CR 20-08167-I, State of Texas versus Jose Omar Chaitis.
Judge,
Is
and
Mr.
this,
Chaitis present?
yes, Judge, he's on the screen.
Okay, I do see him. And what is your announcement?
Judge, I'm asking for just a 1 week reset, Judge. This is a case where I have the paperwork. We do have a meeting set for this Saturday to take care of those signatures.
Okay, but are you submitting a PTD or you're entering into a plea?
It's approved already, Judge. We just need to sign the paperwork.
So he's gonna be put for placement?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So that'll be December 7th at 1:30. And Ms. Soto, do you have a report on him?
Judge, he has his interlock with Lifesaver and there's no violations.
Okay. Mr. Chaitis, can you give me an updated phone number, please?
It's 956-400-3155.
Okay, sir. We'll see you back here for placement on December 7th at 1:30.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay,
Judge, and I have one last case, but that is set for a PON PTD placement. I'm not sure if the court wants to take that later.
yes, I'll take you up shortly. Let me
Thank you.
just finish with the quick announcements.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ortegon?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jorge Ortegon here on number 12, 13, and 14 on this honorable court's criminal docket, Your Honor.
Okay, CR 21-08429-I, CR 21-08430-I, and CR 21-08431-I, State of Texas versus Jose Luis Hernandez. Deputy, if you can bring Mr. Hernandez forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, there are 7 felonies pending that we're attempting to work out, Your Honor. We don't want to work these out before working those out, Judge. So we would respectfully request maybe a 30-day reset or, something hopefully right before the holidays, Judge, so we can try to see if we can get, this disposed of before then.
The last setting I have before we break is December 16th. I don't know if that's only 2 weeks away. So other than that, it would have to be until January 13th.
December 16th, Judge, and if we're not ready, we'll just go ahead and make that announcement with this honorable court, Your Honor, or we'll call the court ahead of time to try to get it moved. Like I said, it's the 7 felonies we're really worried about at this point.
Okay, it'll be December the 16th at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
May I be?
Yes, sir. Okay, Mr. Martinez?
Good afternoon, Judge. I've got 3 on your docket this afternoon.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up so that I can give you the exact case numbers. Judge, I've got number 46 on your docket. It's set for a plea. I think that was a misunderstanding. Today was going to be whether we're going to take the plea or not.
Okay.
He's on page 2 for me, Judge, as far as the Zoom docket.
Let me call the case. CR 21-05496-I, State of Texas versus Daniel Rene Torres. Mr. Torres, can you please announce yourself?
He's on the screen.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is your announcement then, Mr. Martinez?
Judge, last time after court, I spoke with the Chief Felony Prosecutor, O.J. Esquivel, in regards to potentially getting a plea out of this case and then dismissing the felony. Mr. Torres just had to verify with his employer that a misdemeanor plea would still keep him employed, and it looks like we're going to be accepting the plea. I can get with your prosecutors after today. I understand that you have a setting in 2 weeks, Judge, and then you have one in January.
Yes.
I don't want to rush anyone, Judge, and I don't think it's necessary to do this right away. We can probably do the January setting.
Okay, January 13th. And you want me to set it for a plea or a status?
That one will be for a plea, Judge. Yeah,
Okay, January 13th at 1:30.
I've also got, sorry, may Mr. Torres be excused, Judge?
Yes, Mr. Torres is excused. We'll see you, sir, on January 13th at 1:30.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
I've also got number 33, Judge, Jose Guadalupe Rocha Garcia, CR 21-04539-I, I've been in communication with the state judge. My understanding is that a dismissal was filed earlier today on this matter, based on an ADR.
Okay, can the state confirm that?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. I filed the dismissal before lunch. Defense submitted their life skill certificate, which completed the alternative dispute resolution.
Okay, all right,
Mr.
then I'll sign off on that then, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, the last one is number 49, Alder Alvarado Quiroz. There was a little bit of a scheduling issue in my office, Judge. I don't know if he's on the screen.
Okay, Mr. Quiroz, Aldair Quiroz.
Judge, last time, sorry, you go. Sorry, Judge.
CR 21-05899-I.
Last time we had court, Judge, we were in County Court 5. He was in one of the admonishments in person. And I think that we accidentally misfiled this as a County Court 5 case. So we did not send him Zoom info for today. I don't know if we did it last minute, Judge, but I might be able to get him on if the court wants to recall my case.
Well, let me see, Ms. Soto, do you have a report on Mr. Quiroz?
Yes, Judge, he has mobile device with safety check and there's no violations.
Okay.
And
I'll give you,
sorry, Judge.
I'll go ahead and just set him for January the 13th. And are we doing a status for him or what?
He is PTD eligible, Judge, unless Mr. Lozano wants to correct me. I believe he is a candidate. He had a couple of hiccups at the beginning of his bond issues. They were addressed with the court, and my understanding is Ms. Soto has also been provided a copy of his work schedule now so that we could modify his test windows. That was one of the issues brought up during the status last time.
Okay, so Mr. Lozano, can you verify whether or not this defendant is PTD eligible?
Yes, Your Honor, this defendant is PTD eligible.
Okay, then we'll do January the 13th at 9:30 for a status, and go ahead and please file your PTD paperwork before that date.
I think that's all I've got, Judge.
Okay.
I really appreciate
you,
y'all.
sir. Have a good day.
Judge.
All right, Mr. Jackson.
Hi, Judge.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Great to see you.
Likewise. What number?
I don't have the number, but I have the CR number.
Number 41, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Lozano.
Thank you.
CR 1915586-I and CR 20-02782-I, State of Texas versus Marco Antonio Mendiola. Is Mr. Mendiola present?
Yes, he is, Your Honor. And the great news is they'll both are going to be pleased. I just need a little bit of time to get the paperwork from the DA's office, and we can get this done at the next court setting.
Okay, so Ms. Soto, where's Mr. Mendiola at? Is he on screen or in your office?
Okay, you asking me or?
No. I'm just, before I was gonna ask you something and then I changed gears. Sorry. Mr. Mendiola? I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Okay,
Red shirt, Judge?
got it. All right, Ms. Soto, do you have a report on Mr. Mendiola?
Judge, he has his mobile device with sober sense. I'm showing a report from October the 1st of 2021 up until November the 29th. He had 156 missed tests. Prior to that, Judge, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe he showed up to court. He also had positive readings in his prior reports that were not addressed because he failed to report to court.
Okay, so Mr. Mendiola, I do remember now that I had not been able to address with him his failure to abide by the bond conditions because he works out of town. So I needed to know when was he going to be in town because I need him in front of me before I'm going to take any kind of plea on him.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mendiola, when will you be in town?
I have no idea.
Well,
Whenever I guess.
Okay, how long is it gonna, the last time you were working out of state, are you still out of state?
No, I was in Texas City and I got laid off and I went home for a while and then I recently came back up. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now.
Okay. The issue is that you're not abiding by your bond conditions. And so you can't just blow into your device whenever you'd like. You have certain time frames that you have to do it.
I was blowing.
Hold on. and you've missed court dates. So you have 156 missed tests and you have positive alcohol readings. So before we enter into any plea or I accept it, I need to deal with those things because you haven't even shown that you can abide by the bond conditions.
I don't know when I have missed court, but I started blowing and 2 or 3 times it came out positive. I talked to Ms. Soto, why is it coming out positive? I haven't been drinking, and I said, let's move it to the vehicle or a bracelet or something. I really doesn't matter. And I haven't been drinking, and it comes out positive. So I stopped blowing because I'm just gonna shoot myself in the foot, as they say. I haven't been drinking, and it comes out positive, and I don't think I've ever missed a court date. When I called, I mean, they said no, it has been postponed. So has it been postponed or I missed it? I mean, it's either.
Well, you've
So-
had several court dates. So look, I'm not sure why is it that you were getting a positive reading?
I don't know.
Ms. Soto, did Mr. Mendiola contact you that they were false positives?
Judge, I can't recall, I can look at my notes, Judge. She might have called me, Judge. That is the reason why we tell them to keep retesting every 15 minutes, Judge, so we can see the levels going down. If the device is contaminated, the levels will balance out, they'll clear out, Judge. But again, they have to keep retesting. And I believe he did advise about changing the device. I advised him I could not do that. It had to come from the court, Judge.
Okay. The thing is that the device, if you feel it's defective, you need to make time to come down here and get that switched out. But
Okay.
I'm not going to switch you out to an interlock device because you haven't even proven that you can be on this device. Instead, and you can't make those decisions on your own, Mr. Mendiola. You can't, because I'm not going to know what kind of reasoning you have for it. All I'm going to do is incarcerate you. Because
Okay.
what you're doing is you're not following the law. So I need to know, when are you going to be down here?
1 week. I can be there in a week.
Okay.
If you
Then I'm
want,
gonna have, okay, when you come down, the first thing that you're gonna need to do is go visit Sober Sense so that you can switch out the thing or ask them. You need to be there in person because they need to check your device and see if it needs to be calibrated or what's going on with it, or if they're gonna switch it out. If they refuse to switch it out, then we will work on something, but they have to refuse to do it. I hope they don't. I hope they switch it out for you. But if they refuse to, there's not much you can do about it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you come in on December the 9th at 1:30, and you're going to be reporting to the courthouse.
Okay.
Okay. So come into town and you're going to talk to Sober Sense first.
Okay.
And then we're going to see what they say. Okay.
But do you want me to still be blowing on the machine I have now?
Yeah, just blow on it anyway. You've already made us aware of it being like that. I'm not saying it needs to go down. If you're going to be blowing into it and it's a positive reading, then at least so it can show every 15 minutes that it's going down. And then that's also how they monitor whether or not it's a false positive.
Okay.
So I understand what you're saying, but it's within my discretion when you have positive alcohol readings. You're making us aware of it. Just go back to blowing into the device so that we can see whether it's the device or what's the situation. Don't use mouthwash. Don't use anything that has any alcohol base in it. Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll just take it from there and let's see where you're at by the 9th. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. And what's a working phone number for you?
Area code 409 300 8156. That's my personal number.
Okay. Then we'll see you on December the 9th. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Jackson?
Oh, I have your honor. We'll be there on the 9th.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a wonderful day.
Likewise.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Mr. Garza?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. We have number 1 on the docket. The protective order P0180-21-9.
Okay. Did Mr. Garcia bond out?
No, Your Honor, he's still in custody.
Okay, Deputy, if you can please have Agapito Garcia to the screen.
Yes, Your Honor, he's also needs an interpreter.
Okay. All right, that's P0180-21-9. And Ms. Saldana, is this your case or?
Yes, Judge. Rebecca Saldana, the applicant. Judge, on this case, I did reach out to Mr. Villarreal and Samuel Reyes on the case. And actually, Mr. Villarreal just messaged and he wanted to extend the temporary protective order and get a reset date because of the criminal matters that are pending.
That's correct, Your Honor. And
And the state has no
again,
objection. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so then how far out are you asking for it to be extended, like in the 60 days?
yes, Your Honor.
That's fine with the state, Judge.
All right. I'll go ahead and extend it, but I think my last criminal setting that I have open, it's gonna be January the 13th at 1:30. So we're gonna come back a little bit sooner in about 6 weeks instead of the 8.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that'll be January 13th at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor. Have maybe excuse.
Yes, and Mr. Garcia is also excused. Ms. Castaneda, please let him know that the protective order has been extended and that he'll return on January 13th at 1:30.
Mr. García, la orden de protección ha sido extendida y la próxima corte es el día 13 de enero a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you. Okay, Patrick Kennedy?
Yes, Judge, good afternoon. I have number 47 in your docket, Mr. Adan Camacho.
Okay, CR 1905204-I. I believe I have that a dismissal has been filed on that.
Yes, I think all along with its sister case, I did not see it in your docket, but that's CR 1905203-I.
Okay, so a dismissal was filed on both?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then I'll sign off on it, Mr. Kennedy, as soon as it hits my queue.
Yes, Your Honor. He's on Zoom. He's an older man in a checkered button-up shirt. I think he speaks Spanish.
Okay. Ms. Castaneda, please let Mr. Camacho know that the dismissals were filed by the state and that I'll sign them as soon as I have an opportunity.
Mr. Camacho, los despedidos, sus casos han sido despedidos y nada más que tenga una oportunidad, la juez los va a firmar.
Okay, let him know he's excused.
Y ya se puede retirar.
Okay. Anything else?
I just have a plea, Your Honor, and I'll hang tight till you're ready.
Thank you, appreciate it. All right, Mr. Palacios?
Good afternoon, Judge. I have number 4 on your criminal docket.
CR 21-10061-I, State of Texas versus Carlos Ceja. Deputy, if you can bring Mr. Ceja forward.
Judge, and he does need the service of interpreter.
Okay. All right, and what is your announcement, Counselor?
Good afternoon, Judge Sonny with Mr. Ceja. Judge, on this case, we had the felony hearing yesterday. This most likely will be a plea pretty quickly. We should be able to resolve this matter pretty quickly in felony. And my understanding is they will be dismissing the misdemeanor once we leave the felony out of that plea.
Okay, and when are you set to plea on the felony?
The court is set for for January 6th, Judge. However, we should be able to take care of it before then. We can notify this court once that is done.
I'll go ahead and set you for January 11th at 1:30. And if it's taken care of before the 6th, just let us know, and that way we can take it off the docket.
We will do so, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, that does conclude our business, Judge. Maybe excused.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Ms. Castaneda, please let Mr. Ceja know that he'll return on January 11th at 1:30.
Mr. Ceja, su próxima corte es el día 11 de enero a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Ok, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now this, any more quick announcements before we start going over the pleas? If you have a quick announcement, please signify with a raise your hand reaction button. All right, Mr. Aleman?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have numbers 39 and 40 on your court's criminal docket.
Okay. CR 19047004-I and CR 1901-264-I, State of Texas versus Jessica Medina. Is Ms. Medina present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is the announcement, Counselor?
Your Honor, this is a case that I've been trying to staff with the DA's office. My client had already completed a drug court program on a related felony. There was some movement. The state, however, was offering dismissal, but wanting her to plead to time served on the false report case. I'm still sort of begging and pleading to see if there's maybe another alternative. Maybe if she took a theft class or something as a pretrial diversionary type of situation. So I think they're still considering it, and I'm going to be providing proof of employment and see if maybe there's still a chance we can work towards a dismissal here, Judge.
Okay. And what does the state have as a response?
Your Honor, that is correct. We initially sent paperwork out on November 4th. I have been in communications with Mr. Aleman, and I'm going to be staffing this case again with my supervisor based on the documentation I received from Mr. Aleman showing that the defendant is employed and is being productive.
Okay, well, if you feel comfortable, Mr. Aleman, and you don't have to tell me, but what is it that they're accusing her of falsifying on the report to the police officer?
My understanding, Judge, this is a 2018 case. Essentially, my client indicates to me that her boyfriend put her up to filing a report of a stolen car involving, there was an accident, and they sort of said, oh, someone stole the car, if you will. Something along those lines, Judge. And it was, as I mentioned, a 2018 case. It was sort of pending for quite some time until she was arrested on these related drug charges that also brought her in.
Is she still with the boyfriend? Are you still with that boyfriend, Miss Medina?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll give you an opportunity to staff it and to also have hold on. Mr. Jalili's on another court or something. Yeah, I'll give you an opportunity to staff it and look at the entire scenario. And Ms. Medina, how old are you?
29.
Okay. And where are you working?
At home, it's like with a call center agency.
Do you have kiddos?
Yes, 2.
Are they small?
I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Oh, elementary age. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. All right. Well, see what I think the state kind of gets my drift. So go ahead and talk it out and see what you all can work out. I'll give you some time. We'll have her come back on January the 13th. I'm going to set her for a status, Mr. Aleman. Okay. If you're ready and work something out before then, let us know. And then we'll go ahead and get you set up on the plea docket. All right.
That'd be great.
So January 13th at 9:30, and it'll be for a status and we can decide then.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Thank you.
Yes. All right.
Good seeing you, Judge. Take care.
Likewise. Okay, Mr. Jalili, were you still in court or are you ready, sir?
I apologize, Your Honor. I didn't realize my microphone was still on. If I could be recalled, I'm still on the other side.
Okay. Do you have a plea or you have a quick announcement?
No, actually, it's just an arraignment slash bond reduction.
Okay. Well, let me know when you're ready.
I will do, Your Honor.
I'm going to start taking the pleas now.
Thank you.
Okay. So is everybody else that's here as attorneys are pleased, or if you have a quick announcement before?
Your Honor, I apologize. Priscilla Needwitz.
You scared me, Miss Needwood.
I'm so
She's like,
sorry.
no, don't start with those admonishments. They last forever. Let me get
I
my.
know, let me
word
jump in. I have a quick announcement, Your Honor, for my client, Garza Alejandro.
What number?
I
Number
don't
34, Your
have the docket, but it's
I'm
CR
sorry?
21.
No,
CR
hold on.
21040121.
Yeah, it's because the case.
Oh, you need the
doesn't do
docket.
anything for me. Mr. Lozano, let me know it's number 34. All
Oh,
right,
number
Alejandro Garza, is Mr. Garza present?
He should be on, Your Honor.
Alejandro Garza?
I don't see. Robert. He's not on, but we were supposed to have a plea today, but he did not want to take it.
Okay, well, he has until the end of the docket to come on, or else I will have to take a nice eye.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Jalili, you said you had an arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor, this is on number 5 on the court's docket. My client is in custody.
Okay, let me go ahead and you have a motion to reduce bond?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. CR 21-13277-I, Manuel Ochoa Flores. If Mr. Flores can be brought forward. Okay. Raise your right hand, Mr. Flores. Oh, Ms. Castañeda, please have him raise his right hand.
Por favor, levante su mano derecha. Okay, you leave.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Sí.
Yes, Your Honor.
And is your true and correct name Manuel Ochoa Flores?
Sí.
Okay, let him know that he has to wait until you translate.
Tiene que esperar hasta que yo traduzca. Solamente va a contestar en inglés, en español.
En español.
Su nombre correcto y verdadero es Manuel Ochoa Flores.
Manuel Flores Ochoa.
Manuel Flores Ochoa.
Okay. And he is being charged with driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor.
Y está usted aquí por manejar en estado de ebriedad con una concentración de alcohol mayor de 0.15. Es un delito menor clase A.
And let him know that that carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction.
Una ofensa menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $4,000 por convicción.
And ask him if any court has ever declared him to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane.
¿Alguna vez alguna corte lo ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
No.
Okay. No. Counselor, in speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent and able to assist you in his own defense?
Mr. Flores is competent and able to assist in his own defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Then at this time, I will find that he is competent, able to assist you in his own defense and enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf. And what is it that you're requesting?
Your Honor, Mr. Flores currently has a bond of $3,000 cash surety. He's been in custody for 16 days. He is unable to afford the bond as currently set. We are respectfully requesting the reduction to 1,000 cash surety, Your Honor.
Okay, and the response from the state?
Your Honor, the state can agree to a 2,000 PR bond with the condition of a mobile alcohol monitoring device. There was an accident in this case. The defendant struck a vehicle while backing up in a parking lot. The second unit was unoccupied.
Mr. Jalili? I would say that that's a good offer.
He's on mute.
You're on mute, Mr. Jalili.
All right,
Are you just speechless?
kind of speechless also as well.
Okay.
We would still be requesting 1,000. We'll go ahead and agree to the modified conditions, but Mr. Flores wouldn't be able to afford the $2,000 bond. Your Honor.
He said $2,000 PR bond.
Oh, PR bond.
Yeah.
I missed that. Then.
But
we'll
if
go
you
ahead
want
and
me
agree.
to do the cash surety, I'll go ahead and do the cash surety.
No, I missed that part. We'll go ahead and agree to that.
I thought that's why you were speechless. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll set him at a $2,000 PR bond. He will have to obtain a mobile alcohol monitoring device within 48 hours of being released.
Understood, Your Honor.
Ms. Castaneda, please explain that, please, to Mr. Flores.
Mr. Flores, la corte le va a dar un bond de $2,000 de personal recognition.
Okay, and let him know that he's to obtain a mobile alcohol monitoring device within 48 hours.
Y
of being
tiene
released.
48 horas para obtener un dispositivo de alcohol.
Once he is released.
Cuando lo suelten.
And I need a phone number for him.
Necesito un número de teléfono.
Sí, 956 6 22 95 11.
956-622-9511.
Okay. Let him know that maybe sometime late tomorrow, Ms. Soto will contact him and explain about the mobile alcohol monitoring device.
Mr. Flores, probablemente mañana, ya en la tarde, la señorita Soto le va a hablar para hablar con usted de cómo obtener el dispositivo de alcohol. Okay.
All right. Okay. So then, Mr. Jalili, do you want to set him up for a status or will he be pleading out?
We can set it up for status as of now, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to set it up for January the 11th at 9:30. And also if you can assist the court and the probation department and help them understand regarding the mobile alcohol monitoring device, because I'm very strict about when they get it. And then on the 11th, I'm going to request the first report. So if he already has violations, I always bring him in and then I'll decide whether or not I'm going to put him back in jail.
Sure, Your Honor, no problem. I'll further consider.
Okay, I appreciate that. All right, if nothing further, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Castaneda, let him know that he's excused.
Mr. Flores Ochoa ya se puede retirar.
Gracias.
Okay, Ms. Needwitz, I think your client got on.
Yes, Judge, he's on.
Okay, Mr. Garza, can you please unmute yourself and announce yourself?
This is Alejandro Garza.
All right. And what was your announcement going to be, Ms. Needwitz? He declined the plea?
He did decline the plea, so we just need some time to see what we're gonna do and get a status, whether we're gonna continue, may go to trial or speak with the state again.
Okay, so well, I'm gonna give you one more status and then let me know at that time whether we're gonna do a motion to suppress or if we're gonna go ahead and how it is
Yes,
that you're
ma'am.
gonna follow up with
Proceed.
it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
Perfect.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then come back on January the 11th at 9:30 for a status. Ms. Soto, do you have a report on Mr. Garza?
Yes, Judge, he has his mobile device with safety check and there's no violations.
All right, keep that up, Mr. Garza.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, okay, y'all have a good day.
You too, ma'am.
All right, okay, last call before we get into the pleas. Okay, this is who I have ready. If you do not hear your name called, then you need to let me know so that we can verify. I have Adrian Kevin Salinas, represented by Rudy Moreno. Are you present?
I'm present, Your Honor.
And your client, Adrian Salinas?
He's in custody, Your Honor.
Okay. And Eduardo Cantu, represented by Mr. Solis's firm.
We're present and
I'm
ready
present, Your
for
Honor.
a plea, Judge.
Okay, Eduardo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Make sure, dependents, that you stay unmuted, okay? Lizette Cardenas, represented by Mr. Arredondo. Lizette Cardenas.
Yes, I'm present.
Okay, and there's your attorney. Carlos Cuellar. Carlos Cuellar, are you present? Okay, Mr. Arredondo, I have that Mr. Palacios from your office is representing him and that he was ready for a plea today. I mean,
Yes.
for placement.
Yes, Judge. He was on Zoom earlier. I'll go ahead and call him right now, Judge.
Okay. Lisa Guerrero, represented by Mr. Alamia.
We're present, Your Honor.
Okay. Eduardo Markowski.
We're present and ready for a PTD plea, Your Honor. Eloy Hernandez and my client is present on Zoom.
Okay, Marcos Mascorro. Represented by Mr. Almanza. Marcos Mascorro.
Here. Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor, present as well.
And will he be English speaking or Spanish speaking?
English, Your Honor.
Okay. And then San Juanita Ortiz. Mr. Ramirez, was your client going to be appearing via Zoom?
She's here with me, Judge, and
Okay.
she's ready for PTD placement.
All right. Isaiah Peña.
He's present, Your Honor. Present, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Leadhart will be stepping in.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
And I believe that's all I have. Mr. Arredondo, did you get in touch with your client? Did he just not hear us? All right, Ms. Cantu, Attorney Judith Cantu. Ms. Cantu, did you have a quick announcement?
Oh, Judge, I'm sorry. Yes, it said I was in another court and I'm back and forth. I have Jonathan Cruz. I believe he is online.
Okay, do you know what number he is on the court docket?
Oh, Judge, I don't have, I had it, but
26, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Cruz, Jonathan Cruz, are you present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and he's CR 210904-I. Okay, and what is your announcement?
Judge, we're not quite ready for a plea. We're asking for additional time. He's looking into some employment issues with regards to the plea and what effect it may have on his employment. So we're
Okay.
asking for 30 days.
Ms. Soto, do you have a report on Mr. Cruz's device?
Judge has the analog device with Intoxilock and there's no violations.
Okay, so Ms. Cantu, we're still showing that his waiver of arraignment is pending with the proof of the interlock with his device. He does have a device and he has 0 violations. So have him get that proof to you so you can submit that waiver of arraignment.
I will, Judge. I'll have him do that this afternoon.
Okay, he's to come back on January the 13th at 9:30 for a status.
Okay, very well. Thank you, Judge. That's all we have. May we be excused?
Yes, you and your client may
Thank
be
you.
excused.
Thank you.
Okay,
Judge.
so if I called, let me see. If I called your name that you're ready for a plea, I need for you to please, or for placement, I need for you to please raise your right hand. And everyone is English speaking, correct?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Mr. Adrian Salinas, yes or no?
Yes.
Eduardo Cantu, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Lizette Cardenas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Carlos Cuellar, yes or no? Carlos Cuellar, yes or no? He's not.
Your Honor, he's on Zoom, Judge, but I guess he's not connected to audio.
Well, I can't, if he's not connected to audio, then he needs to get off and get back on because then everyone else is gonna be waiting.
Okay, Judge.
Okay, Lisa Lynn Guerrero, yes or no? Lisa Lynn Guerrero, yes or no? You're on mute. You need to stay unmuted. Yes. All right. Eduardo Markowski, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Marcos Mascorro, yes or no?
Yes.
San Juanita Ortiz, yes or no? San Juanita, yes or no? Isaiah Peña, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Cuellar is about to connect. Y'all may lower your hands. Mr. Cuellar, please unmute yourself.
Yes, I switched devices, ma'am.
Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, in CR 21-13024-I, State of Texas versus Adrian Kevin Salinas. Is that your true and correct name, sir? Mr. Salinas,
Yes, Your Honor.
is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. CR 21-06060-I, State of Texas versus Eduardo Cantu. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
CR 21-02868-I, Lizette Cardenas. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
CR 20-09473-I, State of Texas versus Carlos Alberto Cuellar. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, ma'am.
CR 19-15511-I, State of Texas versus Lisa Lynn Guerrero. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
CR 20-07307-I, State of Texas versus Eduardo Ray Markowski III. Is that your true and correct name?
Actually, Your Honor, it's Edward Markowski, legally.
EDWARD.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was all your paperwork under Edward?
I believe a lot of it was under Eduardo.
Okay,
That's correct.
so how is the state gonna handle that if all his PTD paperwork was under Eduardo instead of Edward?
Your Honor, that's a moot point. He's already gone past the arraignment stage. That would only be an issue if this case was going to trial. Seeing that it's a plea, it's a moot point.
All right. Okay, so you're covered, Edward, okay? All right, CR 20-07253-I, State of Texas versus Marcos Garza Mascorro. Mr. Mascorro, is that your true and correct name? Mr. Mascorro? He's on mute. Oh, Mr. Mascorro, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. CR 20-07052-I, San Juanita Reina Ortiz, is that your true and correct name? Ms. Ortiz?
Yes.
Okay, you need to pay attention. CR 20-01744-I, State of Texas versus Isaiah Peña, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, it's Isaiah Amadeus Peña.
Isaiah Andres Peña, okay. But you're also known as,
Amadeus Peña. Isaiah Amadeus Peña.
okay, but are you also known as Isaiah Peña?
Yeah, they both were.
Okay, yes, all right. Okay, Mr. Salinas, you're being charged with the theft of property of greater than $750 and less than $2,500. That's a Class A misdemeanor. Please pay attention to what type of offense, whether it's classified as a Class A or Class B, because we will discuss what your range of punishment is, all right? And then on Mr. Cantu, Eduardo Cantu, you're being charged with possession of marijuana of less than 2 ounces. That's a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Cardenas, you're being charged with a driving while intoxicated. That's a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Cuellar, you're being charged with driving while intoxicated. That's a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Guerrero, you're being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Markowski, you're being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Mascoro, you're being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Ortiz, you're being charged with assault causing bodily injury, a Class A misdemeanor. Mr. Peña, you're being charged with possession of marijuana of less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. If you're being charged with a Class B misdemeanor, that carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. If you're being charged with a Class A misdemeanor, that carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Now, do each of you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged? Mr. Salinas, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Cantu, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Cardenas, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuellar, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Guerrero, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Markowski, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mascorro, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Ortiz, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Peña, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, all of you have a right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with the court. At this time, I'm going to ask you if you had an opportunity to review these documents with your attorney before signing it. Mr. Salinas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cantu?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Cardenas?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuellar?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Guerrero?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Markowski?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mascorro?
Yes.
Ms. Ortiz?
Yes.
And Mr. Peña?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, did each of you understand when you signed that document, you were waiving your right to a trial by jury? Mr. Salinas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cantu?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Cardenas?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuellar?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Guerrero?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Markowski?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ortiz?
Yes.
And Mr. Peña?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the court will accept your waivers of trial by jury. Has any court ever declared any of you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane? Mr. Salinas, yes or no?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Cantu?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Cardenas?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Cuellar?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Guerrero?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Markowski?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Mascorro?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Ortiz?
No.
And Mr. Peña?
No, Your Honor.
Counselors, in speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense? Mr. Moreno, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Solis? Mr.
Yes,
Solis?
Judge. Yes, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Arredondo,
Yes, Judge.
as to all your clients?
Yes, Judge, to both of my clients.
Okay. And Mr. Alamia,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Almanza,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes, Judge.
and Mr. Lidhart.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then the court will make a finding that all the defendants before the court are all mentally competent and able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. Now, do each of you understand, if the punishment that I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you will need this court's permission if you should decide to file an appeal. Do you understand that, Mr. Salinas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cantu?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Cardenas?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuellar?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Ms. Guerrero?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuellar, you need to keep your camera on, sir. Mr. Markowski?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ortiz?
Yes.
And Mr. Peña?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you further understand that the court does not have to accept the recommendation of the state? Do you understand that, Mr. Salinas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Cuellar, you need to keep your camera on, sir.
Sorry, ma'am. please.
Mr. Cantu, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Cardenas?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuellar?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Guerrero? Mr. Markowski?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ortiz? Yes. And Mr. Peña?
Yes, Your Honor.
At this time, I need to ask you if you are a U.S. citizen. Mr. Salinas, are you a U.S. citizen, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cantu?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Ms. Cardenas?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuellar?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Guerrero? Yes, ma'am. Mr. Markowski?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ortiz? No. Okay, and Mr. Peña?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ortiz, if you're not a U.S. citizen, then entering a plea will result in your deportation, exclusion, or admission from our country and denial of naturalization under U.S. federal law. Do you understand the consequences of your plea today, ma'am? Yes. Do you further understand then that knowing and understanding these consequences of your plea, are you wishing to still move forward today with your plea? Yes. Okay. So then in CR 21-13024-I, State of Texas versus Adrian Kevin Salinas, to the offense of theft of property of greater than $750, less than $2,500, a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
CR 21-06060-I, State of Texas versus Eduardo Cantu, to the offense of possession of marijuana of less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
CR 21-02868-I, State of Texas versus Lizette Cardenas, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, ma'am. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
CR 20-09473-I, State of Texas versus Carlos Alberto Cuellar, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
CR 19-15511-I, State of Texas versus Visa Lynn Guerrero, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, ma'am. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? Guilty. State of Tech, CR 20-07. Sorry, I wrote over that. 8307-I, State of Texas versus Edward Ray Markowski III, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
CR 20-07253-I, State of Texas versus Marcos Garza Mascorro, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
CR 20-07052-I, State of Texas versus San Juanita Reina Ortiz, to the offense of assault causing bodily injury, a Class A misdemeanor, ma'am. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? Guilty. In CR 20-01744-I, the State of Texas versus Isaiah Peña, to the offense of possession of marijuana of less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And are each of you entering a plea of guilty freely and voluntarily? Yes or no, Mr. Salinas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cantu?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Cardenas?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuellar?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Guerrero? Mr. Markowski?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ortiz? Yes. And Mr. Peña?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will accept your pleas as being freely and voluntarily given. I will call for state's evidence at this time.
Your Honor, State Office plea documents and offense reports to State's Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant's right of appeal as State's Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 3914 disclosures as State's Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and needs assessment as State's Exhibit 4, the PTD packet as State's Exhibit 5, and the state would also request defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court and stipulate that the evidence that has been e-filed is sufficient to cooperate a plea of guilty.
All
No,
right.
Judge, still stipulate, Your Honor.
Okay, hold on. Any objections? We're gonna go one by one so that the record is clear. Any objections, Mr. Moreno?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Solis?
No, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Arredondo?
No objections, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Almanza?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Alamia?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramirez?
No objections, Judge.
Mr. Lidhar?
No objections, Your Honor.
Being no objections that all attorneys agreed and stipulated as to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court, then the exhibits and are hereby admitted and approved, okay? Once we start with the sentencing, after that, you're excused, okay? So that way we finish one by one. So in CR 21-13024-I, State of Texas versus Adrian Kevin Salinas, it is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. What is the state's recommendation?
The state recommends a $100 fine, court costs. We're giving him time served and a due and owing of $2,200 to Rogelio Mata.
Okay,
In exchange for this plea, the state will be dismissing CR 20-05475. I, Your Honor, defendant currently has 27 days in jail.
okay, Mr. Moreno, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Judge, the only thing we're asking is if you can waive the fine and court costs. He does have a federal hold right now, so he'll be transported to his federal case as well too after this.
Okay, that'll be granted.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have for requests.
Okay, so you're just gonna set out a payment plan for that due and owing? Or what?
Excuse me, Judge?
No, I'm asking the state, like what's gonna happen with the due and owing to Mr. Mata?
Your Honor, Mr. Mata is going to have a judgment against Mr. Adrian Salinas for $2,200. At this point, there is no payment plan, there's no probation, there's no reporting.
Okay.
He only have the judgment.
All right, and that's, I just wanted to make sure that I was getting that clear because I need that on the record. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, well, best of luck to you, Mr. Salinas.
Judge, that's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Have a good day, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, NCR 21-02868-I, State of Texas versus Lizette Cardenas for the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, ma'am. It is a judgment of the court that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state is recommending $500 fine, court costs, 12 months deferred adjudication, an alcohol class, an ignition interlock device for 12 months, and 90 days Texas driver's license suspension.
Okay, Mr. Arredondo, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, just for the suspension to run concurrent, Judge, with any administrative suspension, is honorable court we just ask for consideration on the fine and court cost, Judge. My client wasn't employed. She currently is in training, Judge. She's not getting paid yet, and she does have 4 children, Your Honor.
Okay, so the court will, the 90-day Texas driver's license suspension will run concurrent with any administrative suspension. The fine will be reduced to $250. She'll have 90 days to pay the fine and the court costs.
Judge, if I may, Judge Connie Soto of the probation, she currently has her mobile device with sober sense.
Okay, so then we're gonna continue her on the mobile device. And what's her report?
She has no violations, Judge.
Okay. Continue on your device, Ms. Cardenas, okay?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
what's your phone number?
It's 956-996-5991.
Okay. All right, best of luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I believe the rest are placements. Okay,
Your Honor, Marcos Mascorro, he's deferred. He's not a PTD.
oh, okay, thank you. All right, CR 20-07253-I, State of Texas versus Marcos Garza Mascorro to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $300 fine, court costs, 1 year deferred adjudication, an alcohol class, ignition interlock device for 12 months, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and 20 community service hours.
Okay, any questions or requests on behalf of your client, Mr. Almanza?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask for consideration on the waiving the fine, Your Honor. My client's on a fixed income, just paying for the mobile device is pretty hard on him. In addition, we would ask the community service hours be waived due to COVID and everything that's going on. And the last thing that I was gonna ask, Your Honor, was regarding, he has a mobile device right now because he does not have a vehicle. And we've provided that receipt to probation. Can that be done as an alternative to the interlock device?
Okay, is Mr. Mascoro on Social Security?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I'm gonna waive the fine and the court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'm gonna waive the 20 CSR hours. I will allow for the mobile device to continue, so he won't do the interlock device. And the 90-day Texas driver's license suspension will run concurrent with any administrative suspension. And the rest of the recommendation I will follow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. If nothing further, Mr. Mascoro, can I get a phone number for you?
956-332-8790.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you, Your Honor. I have no further matters of this court. May I be excused, Your Honor?
you certainly may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
Okay. You too. All right. In CR 21-06060-I, State of Texas versus Eduardo Cantu to the offense of possession of marijuana of less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. However,
Judge,
you are asking.
This is a PTD, Judge. I don't believe there's a finding of guilt.
I'm holding it over as if he doesn't complete the program. So what he'll do is, but he's asking to be placed on the pretrial diversion program. So any finding would be deferred if he does not complete the program successfully. In CR 20-09473-I, Carlos Alberto Cuellar, for the offense of driving while intoxicated. It's a Class B misdemeanor, and you're guilty as charged and you pled guilty. However, that is also deferred or deferred a finding until after 1 year of being placed on the PTD program because you're asking to be placed on this program. And we're going to go over the requirements in just a bit. CR 19-15511-I, State of Texas versus Lisa Lynn Guerrero for driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. You're also asking to be placed on the PTD program for DWI. So that finding of guilt will be deferred until after to see if you have successfully completed the program or not. Edward Ray Markowski III for driving while intoxicated for a Class B misdemeanor. You are also asking to be placed on the PTD program for 1 year. The finding of guilty will be deferred until after the program to see if you have successfully completed that program. And CR 20-07052-I, San Juanita Reina Ortiz for assault causing bodily injury. You're also asking to be placed on PTD, and that finding of guilt will be deferred until after to see if you have successfully completed that program as well. CR 20-01744-I for Isaiah Peña. Mr. Peña, you're for possession of marijuana of less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. Your finding of guilt is also deferred and for 60 days. And to see if you have successfully completed the program. So all of you that I have called have asked to be placed on the pretrial diversion program. Did you have an opportunity to review all those requirements with your attorney? Mr. Cantu, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cuellar, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Guerrero, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Markowski, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ortiz, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Peña, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, was there anything in there that you are not able to successfully complete? Mr. Solis, do you have any requests on behalf of your client?
No, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Arredondo,
No request at this time.
Mr. Alamia,
Say it again.
Mr. Hernandez.
Your Honor, as to Mr. Markowski, I believe we had an agreement with the state because my client was going to be leaving the valley to go work, Your Honor, full-time, that the state was in agreement to allow my client to report by mail as a condition.
Okay,
And they-
Mr. Lozano?
All right, let me just verify that real quick. Your Honor, I'm not seeing any notes on that.
If I recall correctly, we discussed it, but I will allow Mr. Markowski to travel for work and to report by mail.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I'll go ahead and waive that condition.
Your Honor, so Mr. Markowski, since he's been out on bond in this case, has had an interlock device as a condition of bond, Your Honor. Would the court, I know he's planning on leaving the valley, Your Honor, would the court allow Mr. Markowski to continue with the device on, but if he could be allowed to switch to a company that is not just a local company, one that is statewide? He's going to be here in Texas, Your Honor. He's just not going to be in the valley.
Okay, so he needs to stay on the interlock device, but if he needs to switch agencies, he can, so that it's more convenient to wherever it is that he's located. But I can't take him off of an alcohol monitoring device.
Yeah, no, Your Honor, we're not asking for him to be taken off. Just if he moves to San Antonio, for example, if he could be allowed to have a interlock device installed there with a company in San Antonio.
Yes, that's not a problem for me. He just needs to have it.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. And Ms. Ortiz, Mr. Ramirez, any questions or requests on behalf of Ms. Ortiz?
No, Judge, she's agreeable to all the conditions of the pretrial.
And Mr. Lenhart?
No objections, Your Honor, to the conditions.
So then the court will place Mr. Cantu on your, is it a 60-day PTD POM?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. I'll approve that, and he will be coming back on January the 27th at 9:30. Mr. Cantu, what is your phone number?
My phone number is 956-414-1645.
Okay, sir. All right, then you'll receive a call from probation as soon as possible, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, and you're excused.
May I be excused
Have a
as
nice
well,
day.
Judge?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Thanks.
Okay, Mr. Cuellar, the court is going to approve your PTD placement. And you are to return on November the 29th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you already have your alcohol monitoring device?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
All right. And what is your phone number?
It's area code 956. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't call my number that often. 956 638-5229.
Okay. The probation department will call you at their earliest convenience.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Okay. On CR 1915511-I, State of Texas versus Lisa Guerrero. Ms. Guerrero, I'm going to approve your pretrial diversion placement. You're to return on November 29th, 2022 at 9:30. Ma'am, do you already have your mobile alcohol device?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You're to obtain that device within 48 hours. And what is your phone number?
956-205-5221, ma'am.
Okay, probation will contact you at their earliest convenience, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Will you be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Markowski, the court is going to place you on, approve your placement on PTD, sir. You're to return on November 29th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. And what is your phone number?
My phone number is 956-800-7875.
Okay, and you'll receive a call from probation at their earliest convenience, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Have a good
Anything
day.
else?
No, Your Honor, may Mr. Markowski and I be excused?
Yes,
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
likewise. Okay, Ms. Ortiz, the court is going to approve your placement on the pretrial diversion program. You're to return on November the 29th, 2022 at 9:30. Okay, anything else, Mr. Ramirez?
No, Judge, nothing further.
Okay, you may be excused. Mr. Peña, the court is going to approve your PTD placement on the 60-day PTD POM program. And you are to return on January the 27th at 9:30 a.m. And what is your phone number, sir?
It's 956-563-7657. And what was that time on the 27th, Your Honor?
9:30.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor, that concludes our matter in this honorable court. May we be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, likewise. Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Okay. Ms. Flores, let me know when you're ready.
Excuse me, Judge.
Yes.
I apologize. Did you still need the inmate ceja? They just told me that someone stepped in for him on accident. They heard the wrong name. I just got here to do this.
Okay, hold on. And what number, let me see if my court reporter's ready. Ms. Flores, are you ready?
Number 4, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, what number is it?
Number 4.
Okay. No, Mr. Senja was reset to January the 11th at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am. And again, we apologize about that, Judge.
That's fine. Okay, so who do you have left? Do you have David Castillo with you?
I have inmate Nava. Pastor Bacana.
Nava? Do you see that anywhere, Mr. Lozano?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
You have him under Hernandez Ovispio. Yeah.
He was reset to January the 11th.
Okay, he was reset to January the 11th.
Okay, Judge. And they're bringing Southside right now.
Okay, well, I don't know, I need to get a hold of their attorney.
So, Saista, Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt you. He does have a reset of his felony for the 5th of January. I'm not sure if Mr. Alvarez will be logging on or not, but I do know that his felony is reset.
Okay, just put him for January the 11th at 1:30.
Welcome, reset.
He has a felony pending.
Okay, Judge, we'll take him back. That's all we have.
And David Castillo, is he with you all?
Still. David. Yeah, so the other officer that was here, he was mimicking everything that was being said by the court. He was making a lot of noise, and the officer asked him to be quiet a few times.
Oh.
Which he said, just take me back to my section. So he ended up taking him back just to for all the noise that he was making here.
Okay, I'll have my staff get with the attorney because the attorney hasn't even made an appearance, so.
Do you want us to bring him, or you want to reset him?
So let me see, what were you saying, Ms. Rivera?
I do have a notation, Judge, that he was reset to the 14th of December.
Okay. He was reset to December 14th at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
all right, you have a good one. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Kennedy?
Judge, I have a plea that's signed up and ready to go. His name is Ignacio Aranda.
Okay. All right, and Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Judge, I had number 31, number 32 on your docket. I had submitted the plea agreements to the ADA yesterday, or no, I'm sorry, I think it was this morning. I'm assuming that it probably didn't get to get submitted, and that's why we were not on a docket for a plea.
Yeah, well, you have Alex Fuentes?
Yes, Your Honor, and he's on Zoom right now.
Okay, because I didn't have that Mr. Aranda or Mr. Fuentes was ready, but I'll have Mr. Lozano check.
Your Honor, I apologize. Ignacio Aranda is ready. The paperwork was filed yesterday. I just forgot to update my notes.
Okay. And Fuentes?
I don't have any paperwork back, Your Honor, for Fuentes.
Okay. So when did you file it, Mr. Garcia?
Your Honor, I had sent it to Mr. Sosa. I'm assuming maybe that's not the right person that I should have sent it to.
Well, Mr. Sosa is also the ADA here. I don't know, Mr. Sosa, do you show that paperwork with you?
For Garza, right?
No, Alex Fuentes, number 31 and 32. Mr. Garcia, Carlos Garcia is the attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
I could return.
I have the paperwork. I just got it 3 hours ago. My apologies.
Okay, so Mr. Garcia, hold on, let me mute. There's somebody. All right. What we can do you want me to go ahead and have you come back on Tuesday?
On the 7th, Your Honor?
Yes.
Would it be morning or the afternoon, Your Honor?
At 1:30.
At 1:30? That's fine, Your Honor. On Tuesday at
Okay.
1:30 is fine.
All right, December 7th at 1:30 for the plea.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be both excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir, thank you. All
I'll
right,
file-
Ms. Salazar, Luz Divina Salazar.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who's your attorney?
Sergio Sanchez.
Okay, have you heard from him today?
Judge, if I
Yes.
may,
Go ahead.
Judge, on this case, she was ordered to appear in person, but due to the fact that we didn't have a courtroom available, we've advised Mr. Sanchez to appear on Thursday with her. I'm not sure if she still has violations, but from our understanding, she was free in person.
Okay, Ms. Soto, do you have any reports on her?
Judge, she has her interlock with Lifesaver. She doesn't have any violations. I believe she reported in court in person last time. You ordered for her to pay a fee. She did make the payment on November the 3rd.
Okay, so then she's already compliant.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Okay, Ms. Salazar, then you're now compliant, so I'm gonna have you come back on January the 13th at 9:30. And
Okay,
that'll
ma'am.
be for a status, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll see you then. And that'll be Zoom.
right,
As long as you have no violations, it'll be Zoom.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Thanks.
If my staff will let Mr. Sanchez know. Okay, so I believe that only leaves us with Mr. Aranda. Mr. Aranda, can you please unmute yourself and now focus on the,
Yes,
all right, sir. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, sir?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, you may lower your hand. Okay, is your true and correct name Ignacio Aranda?
Sí. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in English, all right. And you're before the court charged with resisting arrest, search, or transport, a Class A misdemeanor. And that's that means that that a Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand that range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me one moment. Ms. Castañeda, if you'd like, since we don't have any more Spanish speakers, you can go ahead and log off to answer phones if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your help. All right. Sir, also, you have the right to an attorney and a right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document. Did you have an opportunity to review that document with your attorney before signing it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand when you signed it, you were waiving your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then the court will accept your waiver of a trial by jury. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, ma'am.
And in speaking with your client, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense?
Yes.
Okay, and so the court will make a finding that you are competent, able to assist your attorney with your own defense. Sir, do you understand that if the range of punishment that I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you'll need this court's permission to file an appeal? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that I do not have to accept the state's recommendation, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
In CR 1713275-I, State of Texas versus Ignacio Aranda, for the offense of resisting arrest, search, or transport, a Class A misdemeanor. Sir, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Then the court will make a finding that you are entering your plea freely and voluntarily. Okay,
Yes.
I will call for state's evidence at this time.
Your Honor, state offers plea documents and offense reports as States Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant's right of appeal as States Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 3914 disclosures as States Exhibit 3, waiver of risks and needs assessment as States Exhibit 4. State would also request defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction in this honorable court and stipulate that the evidence that has been e-filed is sufficient to corroborate a plea of guilty.
No objections on behalf of Mr. Aranda, and all stipulations are agreed to.
There being no objection from defense counsels to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. In CR 1713275-I, State of Texas versus Ignacio Aranda, it is the judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $200 fine, court costs, 8 months deferred adjudication, a life skills class, and an anger management class.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge. He's asking if the court would consider waiving condition number 7. He works at the oil rigs in Odessa, I believe. And so he's asking for permission to travel. He's also asking that this court would consider allowing him to report by mail during his probation period. This case is a half a decade old. He hasn't reoffended since, Your Honor. I think he's shown that he'd be a responsible citizen.
Okay, the court will grant that request. And I'll further give him 90 days to pay the fine, 90 days to pay the court costs, and the rest of the recommendation I will follow. Anything else?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Aranda, what is your phone number?
956-274-9150.
Okay, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, man. Have a blessed day.
You too. Anything
you.
else, Mr. Kennedy?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much for entertaining my cases today. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Thanks.
All right, going down the docket. Okay, number 23. Do we have any for number 23?
Yes, Judge, it was reset to January the 13th.
Okay. And number 43?
43, Judge, yes, it was reset to January the 11th at 1:30.
At 9:30?
1:30, Judge, I'm sorry.
Oh, 1:30. Okay, that concludes the afternoon docket. Let me